Welcome, IE Sports Radio fans, to the premier professional wrestling podcast on the premier sports talk radio network. It's your boy, the SoCal Saint, back at it again with another new edition of the IE Wrestling Show, your direct feed for all that is professional wrestling on the only network that is your direct feed for all that is sports, IE Sports Radio. Do yourself a favor, and do me a favor, actually, and go to X and click that follow button. Follow me on the X at IE Wrestling Show. That's at IE Wrestling Show. Please, and do yourself a favor and also follow at IE Sports Radio and check out our awesome website. Go to IESportsRadio.com. You can join for free. And there, you can actually interact with the hosts of all of our awesome shows. Check out awesome blog postings that you can also interact with. You can log in. You can, after you sign up for free, you can log in, interact with the hosts, check out all the daily blog postings. Check out old episodes of your favorite IE Sports Radio shows. If you are just getting started or if you've missed a show here and there, you can find the links under each show's page and check out past and present episodes of your favorite IE Sports Radio shows. If you're a huge fan of IE Sports Radio, you want to show us some love, throw some shekels our way, check out our merch store. Go to IE Sports Radio shop and check out t-shirts, hoodies, whatever you think you would love to have to rock and represent IE Sports Radio, and purchase that for yourself or your family, whoever is a fan of the IE Sports Radio in your awesome household. Please also do yourself a favor and go to planetjerky.net. It is planetjerky.net, the official sponsor of IE Sports Radio. It is the beautiful, delicious, 100% beef brisket, beef jerky. So good. It just melts in your mouth. So delicious. Check it out. Buy yourself some awesome, delicious 100% beef brisket, beef jerky. Go to planetjerky.net. This jerky is on a whole other planet. Ooh, yeah. Shout out to everybody that's joining me in the chat room. Shout out to Ralph, Jen, and Taryn. Thank you guys for showing some love. I do appreciate that. Much obliged. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to see y'all here. Man, do I got a lot to talk about. I just want to jump right in. Tony Khan, the owner of All Elite Wrestling, and the son of Shad Khan, who owns the NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars and Fulham FC, has lost his fucking mind again. I don't know what is going on. Tony needs to stop hitting the slopes, if you know what I'm saying. You know, he's got to stop living that Tony Montana style life. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Allegedly. Tony Khan has lost his damn mind again on X, and it was blowing up all last night. I'm sitting at work. I went into work at 10 o'clock last night. I had no idea what had happened while I was sleeping, getting ready for my night shift job. To my surprise, and just shaking my head in utter just like, again, Tony Khan lost his damn mind on X and started going off, just being a complete jackass once again. This guy is a billionaire legitimately because of his father, not because of anything he's ever done. He was born into this money that his father made. He is a billionaire son. He is the Shane O'Mac of All Elite Wrestling. That's the best way I could describe it, except Shane O'Mac doesn't go on X and fight a bunch of people and try to defend a member of his roster and fight a network that could potentially one day house your professional wrestling television show. So he's just making enemies everywhere, and in the process, he turned a guy who many people, including myself, disliked during his reign as WWE champion, Jinder Mahal, into the fucking babyface of the internet wrestling community by taking a shot at Jinder Mahal. And that's why I put on the hashtag, if you're checking out the hashtags for the show, That's hashtag don't hinder gender. You don't hinder the gender, guys. And fucking Tony Khan learned the hard way, because a lot of people came to the defense of gender. WWE Corey Graves tweeted gender rules. The Bollywood Boys shared a picture. They were formerly aligned with Jinder Mahal back in the day. The Bollywood Boys were his managers during his WWE Championship reign. They tweeted a picture of Jinder with the WWE Championship and them by his side. I mean, there's a lot of people that actually defended Jinder, and then you had like dumbasses like the acclaimed Anthony Bowens getting in fights with people online, attempting to defend AEW in a way. Dustin Rhodes, the brother of Cody Rhodes and son of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. I'm a big fan of. I've always been a fan of Dustin. I loved his work as Goldust back in the day. Goldust didn't exactly defend Tony Khan, but he did come out and tweet, about tribalism, which I thought was fucking hilarious and ironic. I even responded to that tweet by Dustin, and I even said, I was like, let me preface this, I'm a big fan of yours, Dustin, always have, but this tribalism talk about fans, you need to have this conversation with your boss, the guy that signs your paychecks, because he's the one that instigates a lot of this tribalism bullshit that we have going on in the professional wrestling world right now. A guy that owns a company, a nationally televised wrestling company, goes online and interacts with trolls and bots and God knows what, and legends in this business, whether you like him or not. He was getting into it with Eric Bischoff, the former head of WCW and WWE Hall of Famer. He has all this animosity towards Eric Bischoff for some reason. I mean, I know a lot of people could care less about Eric Bischoff. I've always liked Eric Bischoff. I like Eric Bischoff. A lot of the stuff that, if you've ever watched an interview with Eric Bischoff, he's really forthcoming with a lot of awesome stories from the past. During the Monday Night Wars, and he'll tell you, like, Eric Bischoff is one to admit, like, his faults and where things went right and where things went wrong for him back in the day. And he's been, constructive, laying a lot of thick constructive criticism on AEW. Just recently, Eric Bischoff stated that the rumors about Mercedes Moné, a.k.a. formerly known as Sasha Banks in WWE, potentially heading to All Elite Wrestling, and how he said that wouldn't do shit. It's not going to change the game. It's not going to be a game changer. She's just going to be another person on the roster, just another former WWE guy on Tony Khan's roster. And I have to agree. If the rumors are true, it's not going to do anything, because in just a couple of months, the biggest story, this is what happened in late fall of last year, around October. Remember, everybody was blowing up online because Edge, now going by his government name of Adam Copeland, had made the jump from WWE to All Elite Wrestling. And that was a big story for about 5 minutes on the internet wrestling community and on X. It was, it brought some eyes to the product, in terms of social media views, because people couldn't believe that Adam Copeland had made the jump from WWE to All Elite Wrestling, because, he was so buried in the success of WWE for a very long time. He was painted very, very brightly in WWE colors that I myself didn't even think that Edge would ever leave the WWE. I thought he was going to be a WWE lifer forever. But he saw an opportunity to get paid, probably a fat, huge fucking check from this billionaire's son's stupid ass, Tony Khan, who just backed up a truck with cash. And what is Edge gonna do? Say no to that? No, I mean, like, he doesn't have to go on the road, which I don't think he was even doing that with WWE, with him being used as a special attraction, which I thought was working well for him. But Edge wanted to do more, and kudos to Edge, you know what I mean? Like, I have no disrespect towards Edge for doing what he wanted to do and being more involved in the in wrestling and wanting to help bring up the next generation of talent, which is what they really need in AEW, where a lot of these young talents there don't necessarily have the skills and the tools really to progress further in their careers, because they don't have veterans like how the WWE does and did during Edge's time there to help grow, that talent, to help them be something more. But now, when you look at it all these months later, we are now in January. The bloom is off the rose once again, and Edge is literally just another guy. Just another guy. Like, I've been seeing that online. Adam Copeland, a.k.a. Jag, an abbreviation for just another guy. He's just another guy. He doesn't stand out. There's really no huge impact for him being there. He's just another guy. And there's a long list of just another guy in terms of former WWE guys. You got Malachi Black, the formerly known as Aleister Black. He's just another guy, not doing a fucking thing. Bryan Danielson, to me, he's just another guy. And he's been injured more than he's been healthy since leaving WWE to go to AEW, which is, I guess, is what he wanted. He wanted to have these type of matches that ends up putting him in the hospital or putting him on the shelf for months on end. And he's already said that he's going to be winding down his career. And Bryan Danielson has weaseled his way into being Tony Khan's best friend. So where Tony Khan has even went on record as said that if anything happened to him, he would leave the company entrusted to Bryan Danielson. And apparently the rumor is Bryan Danielson is the guy who is a member of the locker room, but he's also the guy that is, disciplining his fellow wrestlers, fining them for tweets or whatever on X, which is, what? How are you going to have one of the boys disciplining the other wrestlers on the roster? And what makes this even more idiotic and just ridiculous with Tony Khan's meltdown that he had last night on the X is the fact that he's been radio silent about the allegations made about Chris Jericho. He hasn't said anything. He hasn't tweeted anything. He hasn't come to the defense of Chris Jericho, except for his little line that he had at the media scrum for World's End, where he was wearing those stupid, goofy-ass sunglasses and that fucking ridiculous hat, just looking so unprofessional to comment on something that is definitely something that should be taken seriously and not just laughed off like how the way he reacted to it. I know he said it in a serious tone, quote unquote, but you can't take someone seriously when they're sipping a fucking Coke with a big ass, giant goggles on their head and a stupid fucking mink looking hat on their head. It doesn't, like, how serious can you take this guy? This guy's a fucking joke. This guy makes Herb Abrams look like Vince McMahon. If anybody knows who Herb Abrams is, if you guys watch the show Dark Side of the Ring, if you haven't, you need to check it out. It's a very well-made television show on Vice, talking about some of the darkest times in professional wrestling. Herb Abrams was the owner of an alternative wrestling company, much like AEW, back in the late 80s, early 90s, called the UWF, the Universal Wrestling Federation. Herb Abrams was a guy that had money, that wanted to finance his own company, who wanted to take it to Vince McMahon, and he was very much this is all legitimate because it's in the episode, a very drug-addicted owner. His drug of choice was that white powder, that snow that everybody likes to think that Tony Khan allegedly is on. And Herb was, for lack of a better term, a psycho. He could not contain himself. He could not control himself. And just the fact that I can say with a straight face that Tony Khan makes Herb Abrams look like Vince McMahon is a problem. Because for all of Herb Abrams' craziness, I think Tony Khan is just as bad, if not worse. in this world of social media. And that's the only reason why. Because this guy is the head of a multi-million-dollar company that's not doing well in terms of live attendance, that's not doing well in terms of pay-per-view buy rates, that's not doing well in terms of its reputation at the moment. But he finds time to tweet that it's a double standard for people to be upset that Hook, the son of Taz and current FTW champion in AEW, is wanting to challenge the current AEW champion Samoa Joe, where people were upset about that. And then nobody seems to bat an eye about Jinder Mahal getting a World Heavyweight Championship match against Seth Rollins next Monday night on Raw. And I don't know why he had to come at him for that, but it just doesn't make him look good to take it, to at least to insult a fellow wrestler. Hey, Larry, what's up, man? Shout out to Larry B., the head honcho of IE Sports Radio, live in the chat room. Thank you, sir. If you just gotten in, I'm talking about Tony Khan once again, bro. He went off on another bender on X. But anyway, and then apparently USA Network, so damn funny. USA Network had me cracking up. USA Network, the actual cable channel, the USA Network's official X page, in response to a fan's tweet, put what was the cage match rating? And the cage match ratings is something online. It's from a website, cagematch.com, I think, or .net, I can't remember. But they rate matches just like Dave Meltzer rates matches, pretty much. And Tony Khan had the nerve to point out that his show's cage match ratings are so much higher than WWE's cage match ratings. And so, yeah, so this is voted on by people. This is an opinion. Just like Dave Meltzer's 5-star matches are his opinion, the guys who edit Cage Match, the Cage Match ratings, are their opinions. There's no legitimacy to it. It's someone's opinion. It's all subjective. For him to quote it like if it's gospel, it just shows you how much of a fucking mark he is. How much of a fucking mark Tony Khan is. He's a mark with money. He's a money mark. And all the guys on the roster, especially these ex-WWE guys, are having the time of their lives because they're sitting there saying, I only have to work 3 nights a week. I'm getting paid X amount of dollars to barely do anything from this joke of a boss. A guy who can't control his wrestlers, a guy who can't, get past the one time out of the entire year last year that you had a mega sellout. He keeps going back to All In London. You can't fucking focus on one show. You can't focus on one show for the rest of your career. There's just no way to sustain yourself on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like Vince McMahon coming every year talking about how they sold out the Silverdome for WrestleMania 3. Yes, they mention it because it's a big moment, but they don't focus on it every fucking time they're on television or every time they're interviewed. Because WWE has had many, many huge sellouts since then. Some even bigger. Because WrestleManias are historically always in huge football stadiums and will be again this year 2 nights in a row. Just like they were last year. Sold out the SoFi Stadium. The big, beautiful football stadium in Los Angeles, California was sold out 2 nights in a row. And now they're about to do it again this year in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're about to sell out, if they haven't already, they're going to sell out Perth next month for Elimination Chamber in Australia. Oh my God, I love that quote. Larry B., my buddy, my fucking good friend, dude, he just wrote a fucking quote. I'm about to fucking tweet it to Tony Khan later. I'm going to have to remember that. Yesterday's home runs don't win today's games. From legendary, the great Bambino himself, Babe Ruth. That is perfect. That is perfect. And I bet you if someone said that to Tony Khan, his ass would be like, who's Babe Ruth? Was he a wrestler? Because that's all he fucking thinks about. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. And then Tony Khan had the nerve to answer USA Network's little dig at him, which was hilarious. The dig by USA, not his response. His response was, he said, a moral victory for USA is one more win, more than the world title challenger Jinder Mahal has in the past 364 days, because it's literally a full year since he won a match. Like, why did he have to go with that? Like, I don't understand that. Like, he went for Jinder for no reason. Jinder didn't say anything. Jinder hasn't been on Twitter in 6 months, but he took his time to sign into his account last night and wrote, who the fuck is Hook? And that's all he wrote, and just boom. And the internet just went, oh! It was like that meme where, like, all the kids are jumping up and down around their friend, like, oh, shit! Like, it was just, like, one of those, like, mic drop moments. You know what I mean? And it's sad that Hook got dragged into it, but Tony Khan started it, man. He's the one that brought it up. He's the one that focused on Hook and Jinder to try to make some sort of comparison between the two. WWE doesn't have to do a damn thing. I think Tony Khan just bought WWE a lot more viewers for this coming Monday night's World Championship match, because everybody's going to be tuning in to see what happens. Because he literally turned Jinder Mahal into a babyface in less than 24 hours because of what happened with this stupidness online. Ridiculous! Ridiculous! It's just ridiculous. And then I see these memes. Somebody superimposed Jinder Mahal's head on Conor McGregor's body from that one UFC press conference where he looked at his opponent for that year. I can't remember who the hell he was fighting, but then he goes, "Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that guy?" And and it was a picture of Tony Khan and Hook next to the superimposed Jinder saying that, which is so fucking hilarious to me, man. Sometimes the internet just makes me smile. And it's just, oh man, I mean, long story short, I'm gonna end it right here, because I really don't want to give him any more press than I need to, because he's a fucking clown. He's a joke. He's nothing but his own worst enemy. Tony Khan from the IE Wrestling, from the IE Wrestling show, from the SoCal Saint, from the bottom of my heart, you need to shut the fuck up and put your phone down. Stay off X, because you only make yourself and your company look more ridiculous, more Bush League, more second rate, more mud show every single time you tweet that idiocy out of your stupid little mouth. And that's it. Yeah, and the Jaguars suck too. Suck it, okay? You could suck it, Tony Khan. What a douche. What a gigantic douchebag. Man, wow. Trust me, for all the faults of Vince McMahon is not perfect. I'm not saying that at all. Vince McMahon is a terrible human being as well. Maybe Tony Khan's a nice guy. Do I think he's a terrible human being? No, but he's a dumb one. He's a very, very stupid human being, that's for sure. He's not going to focus on his football team. He could care less. That's Larry B. Says focus on your football team. No, he's not. He's too busy consumed with this idea that he has the best wrestling company in the world, that he's going to beat the WWE when WWE is leaps and bounds and miles and miles and miles ahead of AEW. AEW is never going to catch up to the WWE. The WWE has a 30-plus year head start, bro. What are you doing? The bloom was off the rose like your third year in. You guys are in your fifth year, about to go into your sixth year of being an entity. You're lucky you've even made it this far. You're very lucky with all the stupidity that's happened in the last year or so. Just yeah. Whatever. We're going to take a short little break, guys, and we'll be back with a little bit of wrestling news, and then we're going to get into the results of this past week's Wrestle Kingdom 18. Yes, New Japan Pro Wrestling's biggest show of the year, kicked off the new year of wrestling with Wrestle Kingdom 18. We're going to preview TNA's Hard to Kill pay-per-view, and we got some new matches announced for the WWE Royal Rumble, the first stop on the road to WrestleMania. Stay tuned, guys.
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Callum Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head prime-time face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back, IE Sports Radio fans, to the IE Wrestling Show. If you're just tuning in, we are live on Spreaker. If you're listening on the download or on YouTube later, I do appreciate it. Thank you. Just please hit a like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy what you hear from your boy, the SoCal Saint. Follow me on the X at IE Wrestling Show. Follow IE Sports Radio at IE Sports Radio. And check out our awesome website at IESportsRadio.com. Do yourself a favor. You guys are going to love it. It's absolutely free to join our website and check out our merch shop if you're wanting to throw some shekels our way, if you love what we do and want some new gear, some fresh new gear. Larry B, while we were on a commercial for his, with that last drop from his awesome show, 3 and Out. Check it out, guys. You're not going to want to miss that, especially with the impending NFL playoffs happening. Larry B is going to be your boy for all of your NFL playoff news and reviews. He commented in the chat room, AEW is a glorified house show. Yeah, they would only be so lucky, honestly. I feel, I've been to house shows during the WWE's dark years that had more people in seats than AEW's current television product. That's a fact. But, we got a little bit of wrestling news here. I just want to jump into it. So, former NWA Women's World Champion, the longest reigning champion in the company's history, Camille, the big, strong Camille, former manager of SmackDown's current general manager, Nick Aldis, apparently is in the process of signing a WWE deal, and she could be joining the NXT brand here in the very near future. This came from House of Wrestling Nick Hausman, saying that we've learned from a tenured WWE source that WWE is super high on former NWA World Women's Champion Camille. It was noted that she is high up on the company's radar and that they are in a signing mode following the UFC WWE merger. So I know Camille became a free agent right to the tail end of 2023. So to see her in the WWE will actually be a huge coup for the WWE. I really think so. They've already signed the former TBS champion of AEW, Jade Cargill, and she is in training right now because they know that AEW put her out there with little to no training whatsoever, and WWE is going to do things right this time around and have her nice and polished and ready for television, unlike AEW. And they also signed a former NWA Women's Tag Team Champion. Oh man, her name escapes me at the moment. But she is already on the NXT brand. She hasn't debuted on television yet. I know that for a fact. She's still in training. As well as the rumors about wanting to sign the current Stardom Women's Champion and NJPW Women's Strong Women's Champion Julia from Japan over to the WWE. Triple H this past Thursday announced that Money in the Bank 2024 will emanate live from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Canada, TO, and will host the following events for that week. So if you plan to be in TO, Toronto, Ontario, Canada, during the week of America's birthday, the 4th of July, on July 5th, it will be live from the Scotiabank Arena for SmackDown. Then the next Saturday, that following Saturday, July 6th, will be the Money in the Bank Premium Live event. And that doesn't end there, because the following day, Sunday, July 7th, it will be NXT Heatwave. So you get SmackDown, Money in the Bank, and NXT Heatwave. What a long, awesome weekend for professional wrestling in TO from the Scotiabank Arena. Tickets have not gone on sale just yet. I will let my fans know if I have any listeners in Canada, which I hope I do. Oh, Canada. That's right, buddy. That was my South Park. I don't know if they get exalted by that. I'm not your friend, buddy, but I'm not your buddy, friend. Sorry, I just went off on a little tangent there. But yes, TO will host 3 big events in the summer for WWE, for the WWE. Big press release that came out. TKO announced in a new press release that came out about a week ago that WWE and UFC partnership teams have been combined into one. The new team is led by TKO EVPs Grant Norris-Jones and Lou Koskovalis. Among the opportunities envisioned by the merger is the ability to sell UFC and WWE sponsorships and other business partnerships together. So this merger is becoming even stronger between the UFC and the WWE under the brand name of TKO. And this is if you're a local wrestling fan here in the DFW area, big news was just announced from local Indie Fed here in the Fort Worth area, actually in Bedford, which is just about 20 minutes away from where I reside here in Fort Worth, Texas. It'll be live. MPX, that's the Metroplex Wrestling, presents Prison Break this coming Friday, January 13th. Or excuse me, this Saturday. Wow, I'm getting my days wrong. Live January 13th. We'll have the Certified G in the house. Former WWE Cruiserweight Champion, Real One, formerly known as Enzo Amore. That's right, formerly known as Enzo Amore, now known as Real One, will be live and in action this Saturday night at Metroplex Wrestling. Go to www.mpxwrestling.com to get your tickets now. Bada bing, bada boom, realest guy in the room. How you doing? That's a big get. That's actually pretty cool to see that formerly known as Enzo is going to be showing up in my backyard here of DFW in Bedford, Texas for a live event. Metroplex Wrestling puts on some of the best wrestling today. They're actually affiliated with the indie fed known as Wrestling Revolver, which is owned by former TNA World Champion Sami Callihan. They book a lot of their talents for Wrestling Revolver. The guy who runs MPX Wrestling, Metroplex Wrestling, is a guy by the name of Matthew Palmer, who I feel like I'm doing like 6 degrees of separation here. Matthew Palmer is actually the husband to current Ring of Honor Women's Champion Athena, formerly known as WWE's Ember Moon. They met here in Texas. They actually live here in the area. I follow Matthew on Facebook, and just another little tidbit. One of my buddies at work, my friend Victoria, she is Matthew Palmer's cousin, which I did not know. She just me and her were talking wrestling the other day at work, and she said, yeah, my cousin's a wrestler. And I was like, oh, really? What's his name? And she said, Matthew Palmer. And I was like, you mean Athena's husband? And she's like, yeah, that's my cousin in law or whatever. And I was like, no shit. Wow, what a strange small world, right? So that's pretty cool. And Metroplex Wrestling has actually had a lot of big names come in and out of there. Athena has been in there as well. WWE two-time WWE Hall of Famer X-Pac has made appearances there. Tommy Dreamer has shown up there, as well as indie legends Nick Gage from GCW has been there as well. So I mean, Metroplex Wrestling has a very loyal fan base here in DFW, and whenever they can get big names to join their shows, all it does is accentuate the already big fan base that they have. So that's kudos to them for being able to do that. So this past, I think it was like last Thursday, right after I did my show, was Wrestle Kingdom 18. It came to fans live on January 4th. I think that was, January 4th. Wasn't that Thursday? Yeah, it was. January 4th from the Tokyo Dome in Tokyo, Japan. It was the 33rd Tokyo Dome show and the 18th promoted under the name Wrestle Kingdom. Wrestlers from Pro Wrestling Noah, All Elite Wrestling, and NJPW were all on hand for this event, and this was the first event that Hiroshi Tanahashi worked as its new president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And this was also the first Wrestle Kingdom since Wrestle Kingdom 13 to have the one-night format, as the last previous Wrestle Kingdoms have been a two-night event, but this was the first time in a long time this was actually a one-night event for NJPW. And here are the results. On the pre-show, we had an awesome 32-minute long match in a battle royal. It was a battle royal, the New Japan Rambo, to determine who will challenge for the provisional KOPW 2024 championship at New Year's Dash. Great-O-Khan, Taji Ishimori, Toru Yano, and Yo won the match. And in the first match on the official card, it was the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. Catch 22, TJP and Francisco Akira defeated Bullet Club War Dogs, Drilla Maloney, and Clark Connors to become the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. For the NJPW World Television Championship match, Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace and New Japan president, defeated Zack Sabre Jr. to win and become the new NJPW World Television Champion. Yuya Yomori defeated Yota Tsuya in a one-on-one match. In a tag team match, the House of Torture, Evil, and Ren Narita defeated Shoto Umoni and Kaito Kiyomaya. Wow, I'm butchering these names. I do apologize to any Japanese fans listening. And in a big match, Never Openweight Championship, Tama Tonga defeated Shingo Tagaji to become the new Never Openweight Champion. And after this match was finished, during the post-match press conference, Tama Tonga announced that he will be finishing up with New Japan Pro Wrestling and headed back stateside here to the U.S. He hasn't said where he's going to be going, but he said he's going to be competing here in the United States from now on to be closer to home and his family. He spent the majority of his career here in Japan, and I know that a few months back that WWE was really high on Tama Tonga, so it would be a big get if WWE could score a contract with Tama Tonga. Tama Tonga is also the son of a former WWE legend, Haku. So there's another, and Haku is an extended member of the Anoa'i family. Of course, that is the bloodline that the tribal chief Roman Reigns, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and The Rock all belong to. So Tama Tonga is not blood related, but he's extended family thanks to Haku. My bad. I'm sorry, guys. I lost my place here. I do apologize for the dead air there. I'm sorry. Next match on the card was a winner-takes-all match for the IWGP Tag Team Championship and Strong Openweight Tag Team titles. Gorillas of Destiny, El Fantasmo and Hikalua, defended the Strong Openweight titles and defeated Bushiman, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi to win the IWGP Tag Team titles. So now they are the undisputed IWGP Strong Tag Team Champions. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match, El Desperado defeated Hiromu Takahashi to become the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. In one of the big main event matches that was announced, in a three-way match for the inaugural IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, Bullet Club leader David Finlay defeated Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley to become the new first ever IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion. And then afterwards, as he was leaving the ring, he came face to face with former WWE superstar Dolph Ziggler, now wrestling under his real name, Nick Nemeth. And Nick Nemeth is now in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he's got a big match coming up real soon, and I'll get to that later. But Nick Nemeth made his presence felt at Wrestle Kingdom. In a big, big match, Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, defeated Bryan Danielson in a one-on-one classic. Not only is NJPW going to be losing Tama Tonga, apparently Kazuchika Okada will become a free agent here in the next couple months as well. So man, that would be really big hits to New Japan if Okada and Tama Tonga both leave around the same time. It'll be like that mass exit that happened back in 2016 when it was Shinsuke Nakamura, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and AJ Styles all left at the same time. They left right after Wrestle Kingdom that year in 2016. It was a big mass exodus. The second time they've ever had another mass exodus like that was when All Elite Wrestling was started in 2019, and that was the exit of the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, Cody Rhodes, and Kenny Omega, among others. And in the main event for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Tetsuya Naito defeated Sanada to become the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. So a big, big night for Japanese professional wrestling, and their next big events have already been set. These matches have been announced for New Beginning in Osaka, New Beginning in Sapporo. On February 11th, Bryan Danielson will take on Zack Sabre Jr. in a one-on-one match at New Beginning in Osaka. And then a couple weeks later, at New Beginning in Sapporo on February 23rd, we will have two big former WWE superstars going one-on-one in big one-on-one matches, not against each other, but they will be having big one-on-one matches at New Beginning in Sapporo. The first match will be a result of what happened at Wrestle Kingdom between the exchange of words between these two gentlemen. The new IWGP Global Champion, David Finlay, will go one-on-one with Nick Nemeth. And after winning the IWGP World Television Championship, he already has his first challenger. Hiroshi Tanahashi will go one-on-one with the original bro, Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle coming to New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. So those are three big matches New Japan has set already for the month of February. And before we even get to the month of February, they have a big, big match set for a big pay-per-view coming this Saturday, January 13th. It is Battle in the Valley. New Japan Pro Wrestling's Battle in the Valley will be coming to us live stateside. This will be live. I'm trying to see where it's happening. Where is this happening? Oh my god, it doesn't even say. Wow, that kind of makes me mad. Here we go. It'll be live from the San Jose Civic Center in San Jose, California. Battle in the Valley this coming Saturday. It's New Japan Pro Wrestling's first U.S. event of 2024. And these are the matches that have been announced for this coming Saturday's big event. On the pre-show, we will have Strong Survivor, powered by NJPW Academy. Matt Vandergriff goes one-on-one with Goldie. In another kickoff match, we have Viva Van taking on Stephanie Vancure. The first match on the official card will be Shota Umoni, Fred Rosser, and Jacob Fatu taking on Team Filthy, Tom Lawler, Royce Isaacs, and Jarrell Nelson. Next match on the card is going to be Mascara Dorado and Volador Jr. taking on Rocky Romero and Sobrino Jr. In a one-on-one match, the IWGP Global Champion David Finlay takes on TJP. NJPW Strong Openweight Tag Team Championships, the Gorillas of Destiny, El Fantasma, and Hikuleo will defend their tag team titles against Bullet Club, War Dogs, Alex Coughlin, and Clark Connors. Strong Women's Championship match, Julia defends her title against Trish Adora. In a big tag team match, Matt Riddle and a partner to be named later will take on the team of TMDK, Bad Dude Tito, and Zack Sabre Jr. For the AEW Continental Crown, Eddie Kingston defends the title against Gabe Kidd. In a no disqualification match, it'll be Shingo Takagi going one-on-one with Jon Moxley. And in the main event, Will Ospreay goes one-on-one with the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. So that is a big, big event coming to you live this coming Saturday, live on NJPW's own streaming service, NJPW World, and on the Fight TV app. If you're in the San Jose area, I'm sure there's plenty of tickets still available for that show at the San Jose Civic Center. That's not the only event coming this weekend, because that this coming weekend, I believe, is hard. Is it hard to? Yes, Hard to Kill, TNA's first official pay-per-view of 2024. Since the rebranding from Impact Wrestling to TNA, this is the first TNA wrestling event for the new year. TNA Hard to Kill comes to you live this coming Saturday from the Palms Casino Resort in Paradise, Nevada. And these are the matches that have been set. On the pre-show, we will have a singles match between two former TNA World Champions. Rich Swann goes one-on-one with Steve Macklin. In a tag team match, we have Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers taking on Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian. In a no disqualification match for the TNA Digital Media Championship, Tommy Dreamer defends the title against Crazy Steve. In a four-way tag team match for the TNA World Tag Team titles, ABC of Bullet Club, Chris Bay and Ace Austin defend the tag team titles against the Rascals, Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel, Speedball Mountain, Mike Bailey and Trent Seven, and the grizzled young veterans Zach Gibson and James Drake. And the newest match added to the card, former MLW World Champion Alex Hammerstone hits the TNA roster, taking on the former TNA World Champion Josh Alexander. In a Knockouts Ultimate X match to determine the number one contender to the TNA Knockouts World title, Giselle Shaw versus Zaya Brookside versus Jody Threat versus Tasha Steelz versus Alicia Edwards versus Danny Luna. In a one-on-one match, Dirty Dango takes on PCO. In a three-way match for the TNA X Division Championship, Chris Sabin defends the X Division Championship against El Hijo del Fakingo and Kushida. In a singles match for the TNA Knockouts World Championship, Trinity defends the TNA Knockouts World title against Jordan Grace. And in the main event, for the TNA World Championship, Alex Shelley defends the TNA World title against the big man Moose. And this is coming to you guys live on Fight TV app, as well as, if you're going to be in the Vegas area, the Palms Casino Resort in Paradise, Nevada. TNA doing big, big things, and its president, Scott D'Amore, has stated that there will be a big, big surprise this coming night. I'm almost out of time, guys. I just wanted to just give y'all a little bit of some Royal Rumble news because, of course, that is the biggest event of the month of January. We are on the first stop to the road to WrestleMania with the Royal Rumble coming to you live, streaming on Peacock or the WWE Network internationally. And it's going to be live at the Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. And the matches are set. For the WWE United States Championship, it will be Logan Paul defending the U.S. Championship against Kevin Owens. After what happened this past Friday night on SmackDown with the beatdown by the Bloodline, Nick Aldis found this was the only solution because there was no clear winner of the triple threat match. So instead, all three challengers have been granted the opportunity at the Royal Rumble in a fatal four-way match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. It will be the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, defending his title against not only one, not two, but all three members of that triple threat match, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight. Yeah! And of course, we have a 30-woman Royal Rumble match for a women's championship match at WrestleMania 40. And these are the participants so far from SmackDown. Bianca Belair and Bayley have announced their entry into the Rumble. And on Raw, the man, Becky Lynch, and Nia Jax. And of course, the 30-man Royal Rumble match for a World Championship match at WrestleMania 40, the men's Royal Rumble. And these are the so far participants added to the match. From Raw, Drew McIntyre, Shinsuke Nakamura, CM Punk, excuse me, and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And on the SmackDown side, only one man has made his entry apparent, and that is the almighty Bobby Lashley. So we still got plenty of time, guys. January 27th is the date of the 37th annual Royal Rumble event. I cannot wait. It's going to be such a big show. The road to WrestleMania this year is going to be absolutely nuts. I just can't wait. You got the Tropicana Field in January for the Royal Rumble. You got Perth, Australia. I can't remember the name of the arena, but it's a 60,000-seat arena with rumors spreading that the main event will be The Rock and Roman for the title. Take that with a grain of salt, but if it's true, whoo, man! WWE is not fucking around on the road to WrestleMania, guys. And then it all culminates at WrestleMania's Night 1 and 2 in April at the home of the Philadelphia Eagles. My God, guys. This time is my absolute favorite time to be a wrestling fan. I cannot wait to get really engulfed in it. You guys are going to see my demeanor. It's going to be just one of the best times to be a wrestling fan. One of the best times to be a wrestler, even. This is the prime time to really get back into professional wrestling. If you're a casual fan, if you've been a fan in the past and you've been jaded and you don't really want to get into it, I promise you guys, this is the time to get back involved in professional wrestling. Check it out. Football season's almost over. What are you guys going to be watching? I mean, besides the UFL, check out WWE and its road to WrestleMania for some just good old Americana entertainment. And with that, I leave you guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for tuning in to this special start time of the IE Wrestling Show. I am about to bid you adieu. Thank you for tuning in. Please do yourself a favor. I always say do yourself. Do me a favor. And click a like, a share, and a subscribe if you like what you heard today. Follow me on the X at IE Wrestling Show. Follow IE Sports Radio at IE Sports Radio. Check out our official sponsor, PlanetJerky.net, and buy yourself some delicious fucking jerky. Go to IESportsRadio.com and buy yourself a delicious, awesome t-shirt. I don't know why I said delicious, but whatever. Thank you guys for tuning in. It has been my pleasure to give you guys some audio bliss, and I will be back next week, hopefully at my original scheduled SoCal Saint time on the same SoCal Saint channel. Take care, guys. Peace.